Hello! There's been a lot of really good releases of Quake recently, but one I'd like to highlight in particular is the Spiritworld by Ziggy and Newhouse. It is an episode which is a love letter to its episode 4. 7 big mainline maps, 3 secret maps, and an end map as well with a custom boss. Really cool. Today I'm going to show you me playing elders6, which is called Diyu by Newhouse. This is the biggest and baddest map of the set, 19 secrets, 468 monsters, but it's got this incredible non-linear sort of twisted dreamlike layout which is very hard to really grasp on your first few playthroughs. Really exciting map. I wanted to make a 100% demo for this purely because it was so difficult to mentally map out in my head because there's just so much going on. And I was quite pleasantly surprised at how it all started to cohere and come together. And I eventually ended up with this run here, which is under 20 minutes. I think it's 18 minutes, which is pretty nice. So what I thought I'd do is I'd just talk you through this map, talk you through some of the ideas and just why I like it so much. There's some other great maps in this set as well. They're all just outstanding, all of them. So really get on the Spiritworld by Ziggy and Newhouse immediately if you haven't already. Like, just stop watching this video. This video is nothing. Stop watching this. Go play the Spiritworld, then come back to this. And because really this is, in particular, Diyu is a map you really should just experience blind. There's a blind playthrough of me playing it on the YouTube if you'd like to go over. That'll be in the description so you can kind of see what an average playthrough is, because I think every playthrough of it will be so different because of how open and non-linear it is. Anyway, without further ado, let's play. Right, so we begin here with this rather ominous float. The music, I want to say, by Bouncy Tem is amazing. Really fits the atmosphere and the ambience for this map. The music in general in Quake maps is stellar. So don't get enough love, the musicians of Quake, for sure. So we start in this area here. Already got indications of a sort of a weird structure, the fact we had that sort of curved building heading up. And I drop down to here. You start with all the gear, but the rocket launcher and the LG are in very specific places. That rocket launcher is super easy to miss if you're not playing continuously, but if you are playing continuously, you will have it. I drop into the void there. You have one free drop into the void before it kills you. I use it here purely because it saves me having to wait for very slow lifts to come up, and this is kind of a speed run, I guess. I realise it would be pointless to try and explain the interconnections of such a dense map in the 18-minute period I've got. I mean, I've tried, it didn't work. So I'm just going to sort of talk you more through the logic and how things connect together, or at least in a neat way. But this here is the hub. Welcome to the Diyu, the tree tells you. The main is filled with keys, so we need 6 keys to open the exit. And the room I'm in currently, all of those portals will open when I have 6 keys, and that lets all the different sections of the map connect to each other easily. I don't use it for a run. I don't think it's actually worth it. I think it's better to have a route that just flows from place to place. It means you won't miss anything, but maybe you could do something crazy portal hopping if you were a genius and could memorise 16 odd portals, you know? But there's 15 keys, I believe, not 16, 15. I believe that the 16th key is a fake. So there's plenty of options. Every non-linear playthrough of this, every blind playthrough will be different, and that's what I think is so cool about this map. It's genuinely exploratory. So we're entering now the actual first bit where it becomes non-linear. This is sort of the entrance to the map, proper if you will. You see that little root poking up through the ceiling there? That's connected to a tree directly underneath, and it's the branches peeking through the ceiling. Stuff like that, it's very cute. Well, we're taking our first major secret here. Quad damage. Using it to kill all these death knights, no problem. And clean out this area as well. This is just housekeeping here. It's just about... These are all potential paths I could take further down, but I'm just clearing out this opening area basically. There was a little side section there which had some backpacks. This staircase goes right to the bottom of the map, but I never actually use it. I just want to kill some monsters that are inside a ceiling bit, because otherwise the wizards can float away. But we decided to take this route first, purely because this one terminates in a nice little mini loop. Things in each cubby hole, relatively straightforward, spawns everywhere. But if you know where everything is, take it slow, it's not a problem. You get yourself a key. Magic. Collecting keys seems to open more and more shortcuts and ways the map can interconnect, which is very cool. As is telefragging guys by getting in their position where they're going to spawn in. But this section here is kind of scary. You've got a trapped secret if you find it. So, you know, secrets, just episode 4 kind of style. They can be a bit trolly, they can be a bit brutal. But there's grenade traps here and crushing ceilings. If you don't know what you're doing, this area is really scary, like really scary. But you have these little stopping points where you can go to if you want to take it slow. Or you can do what I'm doing here, you can kind of just rush forward like a madman. The grenades here can bounce onto the key platform and then just knock you into the abyss, so not a good idea. But you want to get out of there as soon as possible, basically, because those guys will hurt you. This is cool as well, this area here. It's like a big outside canyon, it's very Doom-esque. The thing about this canyon is that if you let those Hell Knight Death Knights push forward, they teleport out of that little pit they're in, and they go all over the place. They go on a little exploration thing. So if you've got quad, it's best to use a quad. If you don't, it's best to stand behind the teleporter line, sort of in the crevice at the very bottom, and just they'll teleport back toward you, and you can just rocket them over and over again, which is cool as hell. Secret key here, behind a couple of false walls. The fact that there's more monsters behind another false wall is kind of cool. The lava as well hurts like hell. If you just walk through that and hit the lava, it can kill you. It's so evil. But with the lava lake above us that we saw before, where that pyramid was, and now we're in this sort of weird canyon. We've got all the snake heads. The snake heads are traps that you'll see. They shoot frag projectiles. There was a room right at the start that I skipped, which had a yellow armour and nothing else, and the wall shoots frag projectiles that usually go in there. Cool inventive traps, kind of thing you don't see very often. All of the maps in Spiritworld are full of that sort of crap. Really cool. Really savage. This actually opens up, that drawer that's opened up there is a whole other section of the map, so that's closed unless you come down here first. Just an example of another one of these connections where things all strangely cohere in a rather lovely way. And I come down into this area purely so, when I can press that face, I don't know what those faces do. There's a lot of things in this map I don't really understand, but I press it anyway, and to press a button that opens a secret up top where I'm about to go. Which is where I'm headed now. This is a little micro loop here that I found. So when I routed this map, what I did is I just randomly struck out and said I'm going to try going in this direction and see what happens. And then I kind of eventually found one where it's like, okay, I've got a little loop here, I've got a little loop here, and I've got a little loop here with 3 major areas. And then it's one of those wonderful things, the more I played it, the easier it got. Those gates, for example, there's a gate where that yellow armour is that's closed until you've done that little section. Don't know why, can't remember where it goes. And dropping down to the blood here, this takes you to directly above where that shootable switch was. There's a secret and a plank here. And some nasty spawns there. That plank drops as well, that's a trapped plank. We're going down there eventually anyway, but just a heads up. So as I was saying, with routing for this map, it was just a case of the more I played it, the better I think, oh, I could do this, oh, I could go here, oh, I could do this. And organically playing it over the course of an evening, I just started to understand more and more and more. And before when I started, I thought, you know, I'm never going to understand the layout of this place, ever. I just need to figure something out route-wise and then just stick to it and then never think about it. But I was so pleasantly surprised otherwise. This is a multi-part secret here. So you had to ramp jump up that clock face and hit the switch, which gets you to this one here. Wait long enough. Newhouse really likes these lifts that are slow, where if you wait, you go up to another secret. It takes you up to a pent, and then it opens up the gate to let you drop down to those backpacks. This is required to open up a path that I'm not going to take, but I'm doing it anyway, purely because it's faster with quad. And then I'm going to use the quad mainly for this room here, which is a really cool trap. Death Knights on the platforms, key in the middle, explosive barrels around you, you know, so there's hazards. And it's hard to dodge. It's hard to dodge those spread projectiles when they're at different heights and they're surrounding you. They do come off those platforms, those Death Knights. They do kind of eventually filter off them, but it's dangerous. It's a dangerous fight, for sure. And up the top of that ramp is where I pressed that demon face switch, so we're back in that area. But instead I'm going to hop through this hole in the wall to this obelisk down to here. This is the only part of the map I visit twice. Perhaps I could have routed it so you don't, but I don't think so. This seemed okay to me. Like I say, routing for this map was purely just, oh, I guess this kind of works, oh, this is neat. And the fact it all came together in under 20 minutes is amazing. This room here is trapped. That altar shoots projectiles at you if you touch the lava floor or the blood floor. It's really vicious. So don't touch the lava floor. But it kind of, something about that told me that was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. Like, when I saw it, I just thought this room's dodgy, suspicious. And this is the only way out of that area down below. So if you drop down to the obelisk zone, you've got to go this way, which is good because I want to be here. So yeah, you shoot those little switches on the skull there to make that trap appear. And then there's a grenade hole here. You have to shoot a lot of grenades in here. There's some sort of moving parts in. I'm not sure what the trigger is, but eventually you get a very secret key. And there are a few super secrets in this map that aren't even on, like, when you press tab, they don't appear. Very secret areas don't appear in the final count tally until you find them, so 100% in these maps without checking for trigger secrets using tools or spending a long time checking every corner. It's tricky as hell. I used Ironwell's feature where you can just view the bounding box of all the secret triggers once I'd explored a lot to say, is there anything I'm missing? Turns out actually there wasn't, but you know, in this case, cheating is fun. Cool area here, nice outdoor zone with the sort of weird non-Euclidean curving geometry. It feels as if the stuff that should be on the walls, the domain has like, there's no down really, it feels like. But come down this hole, you gotta come down here, this is its own little path. A lot of scrags to kill down here as well, which is lovely. Really good fun. Yeah, you can see here. You've got to come down here once. Dead end room here. It releases these guys. It's a two-part trap. You kill them. Suddenly these walls open. Oof, spike walls can kill you. And then you have this area here which is like a climb up and out, kind of like a Forget About Freeman, or there's another Quake map that does this quite well. And I just rocket jump out because it's faster. Those portals always take different places. I want to go here because I want to clear out this area. Walls behind there, spikes come out and can insta kill you. Watch out for those. I mean, it's very trap heavy. And then you have this cool area here where it doesn't feel like you're on the slope here. I don't know how it works. It's some sort of wizardry. With the twisting domain, twisting shapes, very cool. And as you can see, all the portals are open now because I have more than 6 keys. I'm looking for a Vor here that vanished. I have no idea how it teleported out the area, but it did, and I find it later. It catches me by surprise. I thought the attempt was dead here, to be honest with you, but we're still going. We're still going. Pressing the buttons, heading up to this other area. This itself is its whole little loop that just gives you a key, really. So you go through this teleporter. This fight is really cool without the quad because you kill one of the shamblers, it releases the couple of spawns or the wizards. And that's chaotic in a space that's dark and cramped like that. Really, really chaotic. But in a space that's not chaotic when you got quad, it's fine, really. It's no big deal. But you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out. And then this opens up this way here, which is like a chimney breast heading down with switches, which opens up a bunch of gates. And that ladder that I climbed up before and the whole loop was connected to this, so I'm right where I was before, basically. Come around here, you can see that from the outside canyon area, those two guys guarding the quad. And now we're back in this sort of central, tall atrium that I was in before, where there was a demon face, there was a switch that opened up the room by the falling plank, etc. So it all comes together. And what I'm doing here is I'm just going to clear out everything that comes off this branch, every little part I'm going to clear off, and then I'm going to go to another major area. So it's kind of a methodical thing. Grenade trap here, those faces shoot grenades at you, there's loads of stuff like that in this episode. That's the only one I can think of in this particular map though that does it. It's a very savage one though because it shoots multiple grenades out of each mouth. But you find that secret pent, which isn't marked as a secret, which is kind of curious, which lets you go into the secret area down below. Using the quad and the pent just to jump up here. This all connects back to the starting area. This is one of the paths that you can take if you ramp jump through a window. You get into this area first, so you can start the map going this way if you like. But I'm doing it just to collect the key and get out as fast as possible. Non-secret marked quad, why not? Just get another one. Newhouse is really generous with quads in his maps. If you know the routes, there's so many quads. There's just so many. It's fantastic. So you can really make cool routes which maximise the use of them. As you can see here, that's not the case. I've got these quads and I'm kind of just wandering around with them. But I don't need them. I genuinely don't need them. And we're dropping down here. This connects to that outside area where there were the trio of Vors and all of the wizards. This is another area which connects to it. Because why not? Another quad in the furnace. I'm just keeping myself fully stacked up all the time. And then this is a trap. You're forced down this path when you come in here. So this is my first and only bit where I loop back to a place I've been to before for a significant period of time. I'm falling down to this place where the obelisk was again. It's just the way it is, but I do utilise these teleporters that open that lead to the main sort of hub area at the end of the map to get out quickly where I want to go. Which I do, and they're both next to each other just to make it useful, so I can then get back to here quickly, as opposed to walking all the way around. And I'm done here. I'm done here now, so I'm going to head back to this library area, to this portal. This portal exists to connect two major sections of the map together, which you don't have to go through at all. You've got the little fake-out crusher there. It's just something I have to go to, and something I have to do. The secret up here as well. This connects to all sorts of stuff. You can drop to all areas, but I don't know if you can get to it any other way than rocket jumping and going through that little bit of blood. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. You know, I genuinely don't know. This is a very chaotic room. Stuff teleports all over the place. A lot of my run attempts died on this area because things would teleport where they shouldn't, basically. They would go to other areas of the map and never filter back in here. You have cheeky guys who hang up there, for example, which is kind of a pain. Sometimes they'll be up there, maybe you'll leave the area, they'll teleport back down here when you've gone. It's a pain. It's a real pain. Pillars here shoot nails. That's a fake key. That's a really cool trap. This area here, broken clocks, that overlooks that plank that drops. I think it just causes the plank to drop if you haven't dropped it already, but if you get to this area without dropping the plank, I mean, that's a route that I can't even conceive of, really. Fake out floor here, another. But if you make the jump across successfully, you get to this pent, which overlooks the outside area, or this area here, where I'm just going to go kill the spawn trap. I'm just going to go back out, because that's not what I want to do. And here's another one. This is marked super secret, very secret. I don't think there's another way to get to it, but it opens up a gate which lets you go back to the library area, etc., etc. It's all connected really well. And now I'm finally going to head back to this clock area I was in before, that I opened up and didn't go through when I picked up all the pents and the quads and so on. Because this leads to a little section here. This is necessary to open up a gate which leads to one of the keys. This path, it's the only way to get to it. You can get to it another way, but that gate will never open. So you need to drop down here. It's the gate that you'll see that's a teleporter to the left. That wouldn't open otherwise. So, have to do this. And this is my final, like, mini loop, if you will. Really cool fake outs. It's terrifying. Because if you've got a monkey brain, you'll keep walking forward straight into the spikes. And the little drop down to this strange platforming zone here. Which is strange. You can climb back up, or you can just take the pain path like I am here. Go through a teleporter. Takes you back to the exit portal. That's fair enough too. And you have these cool spikes on the ground. Everywhere. They hurt you if you run into them, by the way, so don't. And then there's a staircase to the right which leads back up to the starting area where I drop down to kill a bunch of guys with a quad at the very, very beginning. And then you have this little path here, which links back to that area with the other spike shooting traps, but we're not going there, we're just going to come down here. There is a whole area I skip which has a giant throne and some platforming sections, which is very cool, which I skip to go back because it's faster. It's unfortunate I missed that because I really like it. It's just a nice little bit of platforming with some ramp jumps. But we've got everything we need. We got 15 keys. We're giving the tree what it wants. It opens up this area here. This area is cool. It's kind of like a Counter-Strike rats map or something, you know. It's everything's big. You could wander around. There's giant portraits. You climb on the furniture, or you rocket jump like I do. Takes the fun out of it. Why not? And then there's the exit. So, as I say, it's a dense map. There's so many paths I don't show off in this map, where there's more interconnections, there's more potential ways to go. There's probably an even faster route, which somebody who's, got the speedrunner brain can come and they can figure it out. But that's just the path I chose, completely arbitrarily. Really, it's one of those maps where it just rewards a deeper exploration. It rewards a real deep explore, every corner needs to be scoured, every playthrough is going to be different, so go and play it. That's Diyu by newhouse, elders6 in the Spiritworld. Siggy's maps are equally fantastic, the whole set is just blinder. Go and play it if you like episode 4. If you don't like episode 4, go and play it, because you're still going to have a good time, I think, regardless. So, that's all I'm going to say about that one. Didn't really say much of value in this commentary, because, hey, what can I say? But just enjoy it, Just go and play it for yourself. The dream-like logic and the nightmarish, really hard to comprehend connections, they will come together in your head if you do, and you will get a lot out of it. So, goodbye. Have a good one.